choosing a template. So we've got things up and running. We've kind of signed up. We've got a little look at our dashboard. And now really it's time to actually start building the skin to go onto our body. So to actually start looking at building a website. So we can do so by clicking on Design Site up in the top right hand corner or in the bottom left hand side. Don't forget that there are options for you to go and have a look at inspiring websites to give you some ideas. But just for the time being, I'm going to click on Design Site in the bottom left-hand corner. Like I said, it didn't matter if I use one up in the top right. And what should happen is we get a little chap appear in the middle of our screen. There he is, called Araya. I think it's called Araya. I think that's how it's pronounced anyway. On this little chap, his purpose is to kind of give us some help in respect of AI. So we could actually type something in here and generate a site for us, or we could have a little look at what's down here as these potential options, and there are more to choose from as well. So I can view these websites, or potentially, if I really want to use that particular template, I can click on edit and say, right, great, that's mine up and running. However, one thing I want you to bear in mind is your core message of your business and who your ideal customer is, because it's not about whether or not you think something looks cool or trendy. It's about trying to make sure that you're picking something which suits the needs of your customer then. Okay. So for the time being, I'm not going to use the prompt. It would be a good idea for you to have a mess around with that, because if it doesn't work, you can just click away from it. But I am actually going to click on edit for this particular one here. Let's see what loads up. So it can take a few minutes to get there, but what you've got to think of is there's a lot going on in the background which we don't really see at this stage, which is more to do with what's going on in the dashboard. But just to give you an idea, this is what my first page looks like. It's my home page. I've also got an accessibility page, and it's also generated a couple of extra pages for me as well. And on each of these pages, as I click on these options, you'll see there's a bar across the top which allows me to change the style, the size, the color, and so on. I can add links in, and I can just literally double click on these and actually type over what's already there. You can also preview your web page, and you can also publish it if it's good to go straight away. And the preview side of it actually shows you what it looks like on a desktop and what it'll also look like on a mobile phone. So that's kind of cool the way it does that. And I'm just going to press edit site to go back to where we were. Now, there are other things on here for us to look at. However, at this stage, I'm going to leave that for the next video when we'll start looking at the Wix editor.